Good evening, everybody. Lovely to see you here. And before I start, I want to set a quick disclaimer here. If you feel triggered by any chance by this topic, by eating disorders, please beware and watch this presentation with with your heart open and not just thinking about your triggers and your personal experiences. I'm trying to raise awareness here, so it's good for you to watch it. Well, have you ever thought about eating disorders? Where do they come from? What can they do to you? Who do they affect the most? Or even, what are those? 1 in 10 people will experience eating disorders in their lifetime. And every year, just in the United States, 10.2 thousand deaths can be attributed to eating disorders. Okay, I notice a pattern. Despite these huge and scary statistics, there is still so much that we don't know about eating disorders. Why? Because we have no objective diagnostic test, no spinal tap kind of thing that can tell us precisely about your risk. We have no way of forecasting eating disorders for a specific person. And so, we are left with a ton of questions, like the ones I started this presentation with. Well, we live in a world where 2 of them are very, very common between teenage girls like me. I experienced them. I have since I was 13 years old. Binge eating disorder and body dysmorphic disorder. What is the first one? Well, we can explain it with an analogy. You know when you start a TV show and you just can't stop watching it? You're somehow attracted to it. It's pulling you closer and closer and closer. And even though you have a pile of paperwork to fill out for school that is due tomorrow, you can't stop watching that show. But now think of this situation and just replace the TV with food. Food somehow attracts you. You see that bag of chips, you see that whole piece of cake, and it's pulling you closer, pulling you closer, pulling you closer, and you just have to eat it. Not because you're hungry, because you have weird feelings inside of you. Maybe anger, maybe sadness. And that's when you want to eat your feelings away. And so, as a consequence, body dysmorphic disorder can come in. Because, okay, you binge ate a lot this week. You ate like 3 whole cakes in 5 days. And now, when you look yourself in the mirror, you see that pound you gained, and it's bothering you so much. And even though others may don't see it, you do. And that freaking pound is everywhere. Everywhere you look, that pound is staring right into you, and you can't escape from it. By what I told you, I think you can already tell that when I talk about eating disorders, I'm talking about the sickness of feeling trapped in someone else's body. Like that isn't you. You're living a lie. Because when you look yourself in the mirror, you cannot see through you. You can only see your facade. And I bet money that every single girl here, as when they were 13 years old, they already stared into their mirror. They already sat in their bathroom floor. They already lied in their bed and thought, oh my God, what am I doing? Why did I eat that much? I was not even hungry. Now I'm gross. I feel the fat in me. Well, guys, and it all becomes a cycle. Let me explain it a little better to you. Like I said, you binge eat because you're sad, because you're not well. So then you eat a lot. You eat so much. But now you weigh too much. You think, oh my God, why did I do that? That's when the guilt comes in. You shouldn't have eaten that much. You shouldn't have done that. So now the guilt becomes sadness. And where did that cycle start? Yeah, sadness. So then it restarts. You binge eat, you feel guilty, and then you feel sad. You binge eat, guilty, sad. Binge eating, guilt, sadness. Forever, unless you seek for help. We are living in a world where social media rules everything. With the popularization of social media throughout time, and especially among teenagers, the risks to which they are exposed grew significantly, especially for the most vulnerable ones when it comes to this topic, young girls. We live in a world where girls are historically pressured by society to be as pretty and as thin as they come. And in a social media moved world, these young girls are face to face every day with radical diets, with off-label prescriptions for Ozempic and its variables, but especially with the ideal body culture. But then you ask me, Isa, what even is the ideal body? I personally don't know. But if you ask society as a whole, thin. Thin, skinny, scrawny, lanky even. The bonier the better, I'd say. But why did these numbers keep on growing and growing and growing? The cycle never ends. The girls affected by eating disorders, who are 2 million just in the United States, are excluded from everything, from everywhere. They think they're fat, even though sometimes they aren't. And you look up to people that look like you, right? You look up to people that have similar traits, similar thoughts, similar opinions. But people that look like them, or people that they think they look like them, are nowhere. You don't see fat girls on TV shows. You don't see fat girls on magazine covers. You don't see fat girls on social media while you're scrolling down Instagram. They're excluded from everything. In a world where edited Instagram posts receive 21% more views and 45% more comments than original pictures, these girls feel the need to find rescue somewhere, to find refuge somewhere. And that is when communities online come in. One of them on X, the ancient Twitter, called Eating Disorder Twitter. Trust me when I tell you this place is a mess, a complete mess. They're a community where everybody there is affected by eating disorders, Everyone knows what it's like to look in the mirror and not recognize yourself. So every day, they help each other, or try to help each other, by sharing pictures of their severely thin bodies, sharing pictures of self-harm bruises, sharing pictures of completely unreachable standards of bodies, which they call thinspo. But they share especially destructive comments. Let me read some of their sharings to you. Someone told me I look like Jane from Breaking Bad, so now I have to get as skinny as her. My comfort zone is self-destruction. Hashtag thinspo. Hashtag eating disorder Twitter. I wish someone would just lock me up somewhere, feed me healthy food, and force me to work out. Hashtag eating disorder Twitter. Hashtag thinspo. Also motivating, right? No, not right. But as you can already imagine, everything that I said, every little thing leads to sadness. When you're in that damn cycle I cited earlier, it all starts with sadness, right? Because society excludes you from everything. So now you feel sad and then you start that cycle that you can't stop unless you seek for help. Or if you seek for help in communities like this one I'm talking about, you also feel sad, because imagine being surrounded by comments like the ones I just showed you every day, the whole day. You will feel sick. Okay, so everywhere leads to sadness, right? But where does that cycle that I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation start? Sadness. Unless you ask for real help, for a specialist's help, you will be trapped in that cage forever. And if you look for communities like that for maybe find people that think like you do, to find people that relate to you somehow, they're just going to dig deeper into the hole that you're in. They won't help you, and you won't help them. You just become one of them. One of the destructive people that share the idea that the thinner, the better. But many struggle to ask for help, to ask for real help. And that's why I brought to you that's watching from home. If you're in the USA, please reach out. Reach out for this hotline. You are not alone. I go through that. And I bet several people that are here go through that also. Especially if you're a girl. If you don't look for help, you're going to continue to be one of the 2 million girls affected by eating disorders in the US. And you won't be able to get out of that statistic. I'm here to raise awareness. I'm here to give you some info that will maybe create empathy inside of you, that will maybe make you think more about eating disorders, make you think more about these girls that are suffering from it. I hope you get something useful from this monologue. And for you guys that are here, especially for the girls, if you are going through that, you are not alone. Please ask for help. Thank you so much. I'm Isadora, and this was my TEDx presentation.